So good evening everyone. So we are live today at the July edition of Outliers series. So I'm sure that you are going to have another fantastic session tonight because my guest is a top-notch outlier. So he's a cyber security and he owns a company in UK. He renders services to so many top institutions in the UK, or when it relates to helping them to secure their database and the likes, anything related to cyber crime, um, cyber threats. So it will be joining us very soon. So I welcome you here to tonight's edition. I'm very sorry for being late, like I was 5 minutes late. So it's going to join in no time. So I welcome you, Nifemi. You are welcome. She's one of the real estate sale goddess. So Chika, you are welcome. She came last time, and I think last time was the first time she'll be here. And believe me, she had a great time at the last event. At the last, I missed the July edition where I brought Shin Gudele, the billionaire digital marketer. So Mr. Samuel Adeni, you are also welcome. Rotori, you are welcome. So you are welcome tonight. So believe me, I'm sure that anytime you spend it tonight, like, you won't regret it, because so many values to be shared. One thing I always do is that I make sure I carefully select any people I will bring in on a monthly basis. All the outliers I always bring to this platform, I make sure that they are carefully selected. They are not just anybody. They are people that know their onions. They know their onion. Sorry, please. So in a few minutes we are going to start, and I won't waste your time at all. Okay, now our outliers of June for the month of July is here. Mr. LEKAN JAMIU Akonde. So his name is JAMIU Akonde LEKAN. So not popularly known as Java. So Jaffa. So he's a graduate of University of Ilorin, Department of Mathematics, and upon graduation he has been achieving so many feats. So many feats. So I welcome you here tonight, my guy at the top. So how is UK? Hope you are enjoying yourself over there. So Mr. Kola Wole Ogunleye, you are also welcome to tonight's edition. So Mr. Jaffa, please, you can hear me, please request to be part of this training. So just go and place a request to join, request to join the live video. So there'll be a button, click on request to join the live video. So you also appear as I appear right now. So then you also appear like, and people will be able to see your face. So do you get that, sir? Mr. LEKAN Jaffa. So please request to be to join the video, so you also appear live like myself. Few minutes, please. So do you get it, sir? You can request to be live, so it's going to show your face too. Okay, so please, few minutes, please. My guest will join live now, so this in no moment is going to join too. So just, you can request. There is a particular plus button. Click on the button. It will bring some option like, do you want to appear live? Then click on live. I'm going to accept. So you also appear live like me. Hello, sir. Do you get it, sir? So please, if you can hear me, go to the comment section and click on loud and clear, or just send any emoji. If you can hear me loud and clear and you can see me like crystal clear, go to the comment section and okay. So if you can hear me, go to the comment section, click live, click on. You can just send an emoji, anything you like. So I'll be very certain that you can hear me. Wow, my guy is here. So I'm very
Um,
happy to see
can you
you
can you hear me?
loud and clear. Can I hear you loud and clear?
All right, cool. I've been struggling to join.
I can
Right
hear you
now.
loud and clear. So
All right.
it's a great evening here in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm sure you're also enjoying yourself over there, sir. How have you been, sir?
Very well. Thank you. I'm happy to be here with you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. It's a great honor. Um, it's a great honor for you to spare some of your tight schedule to be with us here tonight. Time is
Of
actually
course.
more, and time means a lot. So we really appreciate that, sir. And believe me, we'll
Mm,
not waste your time. We'll not waste your time. Once again, thanks for showing up here tonight. So
mm,
today is the July edition of Outliers series. And Atlas series was born out of peer like I team Outliers. There are people that want to be seeing other people grow. And there are so many factors against average Nigerians to be successful. So many factors. Like every waking day, there are always things that will make one to do something illegal. Something that will want to make somebody to lose it all. And despite all this fact, we still have some Nigerians doing well. And it seems maybe they have a kind of privilege, or maybe they are born into a better family, or maybe they just have a kind of luck. But in most cases, it's not like that. So then Team Outlier series, we are not like, oh, let us be selecting some of these people that are doing extremely well in their field and let us bring them to come and encourage us. And so far, so good. Like life has been changing. People have been impacted. We hear great testimony every time. And believe me, tonight, we can't wait to hear from you. So, yes, sir, please, can you introduce your house to the entire audience, sir?
yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Should I call it GIA?
Yes, sir. People know me to be GIE, the billionaire realtor.
Okay, that sounds good. So I'm very glad to be here. I think I've pretty done a lot of sessions, but I've not been opportune to do any of them on Instagram. I think this is something really new, and it's quite very interesting. What we can do with digital technologies and all of that. So I'm so excited to be here and to be having this discussion. Pretty much, it's just going to be about sharing my experience and talking about ideas and how we can all work together to become better versions of ourselves. Right. So at the end of the day, the first thing that actually came across to me when you say outlier is just about doing the very best you can do, right? I think that is what really matters at the end of the day. Maybe that story can inspire someone. Yeah, I think that is the part that we are trying to explore, right? And I think
Exactly.
that is really really interesting. So just to introduce myself, right? My name is JAMIU Olamilekan. Yeah, JAMIU. You can call me JAMIU. You can call me Olamilekan. And I'm a man of many parts. Like I do a lot of things. I'm very much into IT and technologies, and I'm into business, and I'm also into leadership and management as well. So specifically in IT, I specialize in cybersecurity, in which I run a startup, CyberGate Technologies, and I do other things as well, in which I work here, of course, in the UK, as also a cybersecurity analyst and consultant. So I think that is pretty much what I do. Before now, I was a president of a Toastmasters club. I am also a member of the Global Shapers community, which is a community of young people, young exceptional people around the world. We have hubs in almost all the major cities across the world. So World Economic Forum, I'm sure a lot of people must have heard about it, is a community of leaders around the world, right? Just name it. Everyone, presidents, billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and all of them, they are part of the World Economic Forum. So World Economic Forum now has a youth version of it where young people are tasked to also help their community in their own way and to also communicate some of those things to the leaders of the world and then see how we can collaborate, we young people, with the older people who are leaders to see how we can collaborate and, try to make the world a better place, really. So apart from that, I'm also a mentor on the Tony Elumelu Foundation. And yeah, practically we just support, young business people and entrepreneurs that are looking to build, startup from Africa. So we give them idea. Practically, it's just to share your idea and to help them, analyze and evaluate some of the things that they want to do, and share your opinion with them. So what again do I do? Yeah, currently I'm in the UK, but before now I used to work on diplomatic mission back in Nigeria. And yeah, I think that's just my story. Yeah. And it's really good to be here before because we shared a very long story of, being coming from University of Ilorin, but I'm sure we'll get to that. So I
Exactly,
don't let me
exactly,
keep going.
exactly. One surprising thing was that I know you to be a bookworm. Sorry for saying that. Like I know you really love book back then in 82 and the likes. You read overnight mathematics. Is it that going to school is a scam or what? Because right now you are in a different profession from what you studied in school back then. So is it that going to the university is a waste of time, or the course you study is even a problem? Because I know you have a nickname Jaffa back then right from undergraduate. But is there any similarity with what you are doing today and the course you study?
I think my own case is a little bit, I would say that, it's such an interesting one because I've always wanted to study computer science, right? And just like we all experience it to some cases, I mean, most of us experience that it's extremely very hard to get some courses in Nigeria, right? You know,
Yes.
you know, let's say 70% of people that apply for some particular courses like computer science get other courses. Right? If you apply for computer science, you have a very big probability of being pushed to maybe mathematics, physics, math education, physics education, and other courses like that, right? So I applied for computer science because I've always been into IT even before I finished my secondary school, right? I have I have a mentor. My first mentor was I think my first mentor was my brother, but out of my family, the first mentor I had when I was in GS2 was a computer person, and my brother too was a computer person. So both of them were just like computer, computer, computer. So I have that book then, Java programming language, Introduction to Java programming language. I always read it. Even then I don't have a laptop, but I always read it, look at it, try to, write the code out and all of that. And it was quite very interesting. That was how the name Java come into play. So I was given Java even before I got to Unilorin. And I applied, they gave me mathematics. And just to let you know, that my mentor was quite very, very, maybe we'll probably talk about that, in the future as well, but it was quite very, very interesting because, he also loved computers so very much. And currently he's the co-founder of CUDA. I'm sure you know CUDA, right?
Oh yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
CUDA.
CUDA, yeah, yeah. He's co-founder of CUDA. He practically built the whole of CUDA because it's like their CIO, Chief Technology Officer. So, he was the main technical guy. And before then, he works in banks and all of that, writing programs and all of that for mobile apps, for banking mobile apps. So, he had very large experience within that space. And then he later pivoted into CUDA and, built CUDA. And then CUDA is quite a very, very big stuff right today. So, I think that had great impact on the way I build things. Even then, he too himself doesn't know exactly where the future lies, but then we are just that is what he was doing then, and I was like, okay, this is very very interesting, and Haitu was just doing it. And when they gave me mathematics, I think one thing that was quite very good was the fact that even though I was giving mathematics, I didn't give up on my computer science journey.
Hmm.
Even while I was in learning, there was time that I was attending computer science classes. I do my mathematics class, right? And I still go for some computer science classes. But it got to a point I did not go anymore because I discovered that it was just bullshit they were teaching as well. It wasn't anything interesting. It's just notes, notes, notes. So I stopped. But even after that, there were times that I was actually doing breaks. I was actually having night class in computer science department with some guys, Jalasem and some other guys then, that we were in school throughout the time. during break, right? I did not
Yes.
go home, they did not go home, and we were just there doing a lot of computer stuff. Like they were working on some project, I was doing my own stuff as well. So even though you were giving that mathematics or physics or what have you, I think what you really want to do, would make that great impact that, what is it that I want to focus my time on. So while I do the mathematics, I do the studying, I do all of that just for me to pass. I knew that my focus was on computer science, not on mathematics. So my own is just that, okay, I want to pass. And I wasn't doing badly as well. I think, in fact, I would have, I finished with 3.0, but I would have finished with 4.0 if I didn't joke with mathematics at the beginning. Because at 100 level, I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. So I had maybe like 2.1 or something in 100 level, right?
Wow.
Because I was just like computer science, it's computer science I want to do. This one is just waste of my time, that kind of thing. Even though I know the mathematics, like, because mathematics was a course that I really don't like at the beginning, but that my mentor was the one that taught me simultaneous equation, quadratic equation in JS2. That was my journey into mathematics. He taught me those courses. I went to class, and that was just the beginning. I started to love mathematics. I was doing exceptionally well in mathematics until we finished, because he too was extremely good in mathematics. And that was how, our journey started with that co-founder of CUDA. Since then, when I was in GS2, he was doing his IGMB then in Ilorin, you know, and,
Okay.
it's
Sorry, are you saying the co-founder of Kuda also attended University of Ilorin? Or
yes,
like,
now, yes.
wow. I don't
Yeah, he
know.
was in Ilorin, he attended University of Ilorin, but way before we came in, because as of the time he was in 100 level, I think I was probably in SS1 or so. Or
Oh,
yeah, I think I was in SS1. He was doing IGMB when I was in like GS2, GS1, GS2, GS3. That was when he was teaching me quadratic equations, simultaneous equation, and all of that, right? And after that, he got admission. I think he was the best in the IGMB self then. And then he started with computer science. He finished then. He finished before I came in. Yeah, I didn't meet him in University of London, but it was
okay.
quite, very, yeah.
Okay, I can see that this your mentor. Is the only Is he the only person you can call mentor? You also have some other people too, because it seems he has so many parts in your life, like so many parts in your life. Because for the
No,
past 10 minutes,
I think the earlier stage, right? The earlier stage, when I was talking about my computer science journey and mathematics, it started from that earlier stage of things. But after that, it was a whole new story. It was a new set of things. I think in recent times, in fact, the last time we spoke was probably 2018 or something, or 2000, that we actually met. I think that was in Lagos that I met him was 2018 or 17. Yeah, 18 or 17 that I went to. But since then, so I've had several mentors since then, several mentors since then. I think when it comes to mentorship, right? When it comes to mentorship, I think one thing that really matters is I I barely have one particular mentor when it comes to things. I look for people that I learn specific things from them, right? Specific things from them. Because the fact is that there's no way one person will be all around good. And that is what I've learned to understand, right? So now I have people that are like, okay, they're my mentor on leadership and management, because I've seen the way they do things. They're quite very smart when it comes to managing people, when it comes to helping people, when it comes to guiding people and doing mentorship and all of those, right? And some of them, we only talk a few times, but I try to follow them whenever they are doing programs or something like that. And then I have other mentors as well in tech, mentors in business. Mentors in business very important, because right now I'm looking at some of the business stuff that we are doing. So at the end of the day, the fact is that some people might be very, very awesome when it comes to the business part of things, but they might not be really awesome when it comes to leadership and management. So you have to understand what is it exactly that you want to learn from this particular person, and what it is that you want to learn from this particular person. Yeah.
okay. I also like to ask you this question. I the story of how you moved to what actually make you leave Nigeria? Is it that Nigeria, you have seen the future ahead that maybe one day like this, in the month of July 2022, dollar will become 620 or 640. I don't want to be in Nigeria by that time. You are like, oh, or because you don't you want something more softer for your children and for your future family. What actually make you to leave us in Nigeria? Because we are this before,
I,
before we are okay. Go ahead, sir.
I think for me, right? Sorry. I think for me, I think the major thing is my religion perspective to things. I have this very strong religion perspective to things that okay, this is how I want to live my life, right? And I made an assessment of how you can live a comfortable life in Nigeria. Yeah, I made an assessment because as of the time I wanted to leave Nigeria, I was working on diplomatic mission. I was being paid in dollars. I've been working. I've not been. I would not say that I wasn't even working, but I've been working from home for like 7, 8 months during the COVID. I was being paid, and dollar was going up, and I was being paid in dollar, and my salary was practically increasing without salary increase because dollar was just going up. I was having more money, right? Because for every dollar that goes up, that means I'll make more money, right? But I look at the future of, how can you lead this country when it comes to 10 years, 5 years from now? And I see that the only practical way is to go into politics. I'm okay with politics, but the way it's being played in Nigeria, and I have a lot of friends in politics, right? A lot of friends, like a lot of friends in politics. Like even people that are as close as to even Buhari, I have people like that. Even Osibanjo, I know people personally that work with Osibanjo. I know people. Apart from that, where I work on a diplomatic mission of UAE to Nigeria, it's somewhere that there's no way you will not know people in politics. Like there's no way you will not know people. Before I left, visa of some of the very, very high official, probably the highest official when it comes to judiciary in Nigeria, and his family was on my table that we are making for him to travel to Dubai and the rest of them, you get. So you meet them, you meet their protocol, you meet people that are very close to them that, if you want to get into politics and get into them, you have that connection of people around you that you can always talk to that guy, how is it going, blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, you start connecting because they come to you and 3 months from now, they are still coming back and they are going to call you, how far has it been done? So you will make a lot of friends with all of these people. And, when you're friends with them, they know what you're doing. You start pushing for contracts and all of that. We have a guy that can implement the cyber some for you. A very good guy that has been with us for a very long. That is how you start pushing, and if you know how to play your politics, you will definitely make your money. But I just don't believe in those kind of way of governance. I believe that governance should be open, should be free, and should be fair. And if I want to be part of it, that is the kind of politics and governance that I would like to be part of, not this. So what other option do I have? Is just to not get into that politics. And I know that if you do not get into that politics, okay, you will suffer in Nigeria. You understand? Now, it's not like maybe you suffer, but how do you want to make money if you are running a business, a cybersecurity company or IT company in Nigeria without getting contract from government? How? How? So a lot of things is not that juicy when it comes to you not getting. So, and if you want to get into that, you have to rub shoulder with them, rub hands with them. And I do not believe in that kind of movement.
Wow,
I do
wow,
not.
you are exceptional
So, and the
Nigerian.
other thing, that I now thought about was also, right, if you want to become, even if I want to say that, oh, I'm a specialist in my own field, particularly in cyber, and you haven't worked outside, it's very hard for you to really speak about things, right? It's really hard to talk that, oh, you really know this thing. Yesterday, someone that I know very well, right? very good friend, right, that worked at the office of the National Security Advisor, was posting something about cyber. And what he posted was just it was good, but it wasn't, because I know that even if I'm sleeping, this kind of attack is not possible to work in an environment that I build an architecture for. Because this is something that, normally any kind of endpoint security appliances will catch this kind of attack immediately. But he was posting it because he probably do not understand this cost of, and this guy is a major guy at, NFA. You can understand that. So it's just, you can't just, if you talk outside, they'll just slap you and say, "Oh, go and sleep. Just go and sit down somewhere." You can only talk in Nigeria, if you work in Nigeria. So a few people that are doing very well, but it's even hard for you to gain that global experience and be able to speak at global events. I think you need to work outside of Nigeria for some time. I think that's the second thing. I was just like, okay, let's have a
Wow.
look at it.
So it just made me remember a particular quote that says, "Don't become a local champion. The world is in your hand to dominate."
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
I, I get where you are coming from now. Believe me, that's very, very fantastic. Fantastic. But you said you work at Nigerian embassy, United Arab Emirates embassy, and something like that. Then how come you become a cybersecurity expert? Have you been learning this while you were in Abuja,
I
or
was IT officer for them.
IT officer for them? Okay, okay, okay. All
Yeah.
right, all right,
So
all right.
I do everything: security, network, systems engineering. And before then I worked in telecoms as well. Yeah. And before then I worked in telecoms, two telecoms, and then I worked at the diplomatic mission of UAE, where I was an IT officer, and something similar that we do there too, IT, network security, and every other things, implementation. Not as much, but then it's not as much as what you currently do somewhere like in the UK or in the US. But yeah, they have a very, very good, architectures, and they are going very, very fast as well.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And the way you were speaking like this, my audience would be like, maybe this man is just lucky, he come from a wedding background and the likes. Please, can you give us a little insight about what your background looks like?
My background is that's a very tough question, because I used to have that feeling as well when I see some people talking. I feel like, maybe they come from a very rich background, blah 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 blah. But you know what I've learned is that I also have a mentor in Abuja. Then Kadri Salami is my mentor. The funniest thing is that he's my mentor, and I'm also his mentor. He finished University of Ilorin probably 2000 now, 2000, and he worked in UNDP, blah blah blah, as IT guy for like 10 years or 8 years or so, and he started his company in 2000. He started a company towards 2008 or something, but he officially started it I think 2010 or something. He worked on his company since 2010 to 2020, and he resigned. And this company is like, it's like maybe 50 people now, as is one of the big IT company in Abuja now. Like, he has like 50 people working for him, like maybe like 5 network engineer, 5 systems engineer, he
Wow.
has a big company to some extent. He runs a very, very big, and he resigned. And I was like, this guy is quite very amazing, right? Because, and this guy, I was like, at first I was like, maybe is from a rich family or something. And then I discovered that no, this guy wasn't from a rich family. And then some other people that I know too like that. And there was a day I was thinking like that of Daily Momodu, that maybe he's from a rich family. And then when he talk about his story, so the truth is not about coming from a rich family. I come from a very, 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 very family, a very poor family. But I think
Very,
what
very,
was
you mean very,
different,
very,
yes,
you mean
very,
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 very, very, very,
you don't look
yes,
it
very,
to,
very, eh?
you don't look it like,
But
wow.
I think what happened was just the fact that even though we were very, very poor, I think my dad had this perspective of we being around a well-educated environment, right? Because we stay in an estate, not like an estate like that. That's estate in Adewale. Everybody know estate in Adewale is just like it's not really true estate like that. I don't know if you know Adewale in
I
Ilorin,
know. I do.
but it's not.
Alekuma.
But it's not like estate like that. But at least it's an estate. You understand? But probably we are the poorest person in that estate. You understand? So we find it very hard. So it's just you know. But I think the people that we are able to look up to in that place, did a lot of shapings to, how we look at things. Because you see, but what now eventually happens is that at the end of the day, I think, you also have a destiny, probably God knows how you're going to be or something like that when you look at it very clearly. Because even at the estate as well, there are people that are doing very badly, there are gangs and all of that. But then I think the focus was more on people that are doing exceptionally well that I look up to. And when you look at them, when you look at other areas as well that is not even like that, you will still see people that are doing very well. It's just about your focus, that which part of the town. But without forgetting the fact that some places can be so crowded with bad people that you will get consumed even if you don't want to look towards them. But yeah. But
Okay.
my mom.
Okay. Continue, sir. Continue.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I didn't come from any rich family. My mom was just selling stuff, and my dad was a painter, and so that was it. I went like a rich family or something, you know.
Okay.
My mom wasn't educated in any way. My dad was partly doesn't have university or anything, doesn't have any higher education, just secondary school. But I think secondary school during those days were very quite sharp. And the fact that he was also a printer, so he reads a lot. So when he talks to you, you probably be like maybe he's a professor or something, but he had only secondary school education. So I think that was just it.
Okay, then I also like to ask, there is this mental drain or mental deprivation that comes with coming from a very humble background. Because believe me, one thing I lacked so much while I was growing up was adequate information. I was watching one video yesterday. A man was saying somebody that was born into a rich family may not be able to work hard and he has chances of making it in life because
Mhm.
subconsciously he discuss big figures around him. The network is already available for him. He can just be like, oh, like even if he's playing, money will be coming. They now have to put in
Mhm.
extra effort. They have a little bit of advantage. But you, like me, somebody like you and me that will come from or a particular humble background, there is a mental deprivation. We have low self-esteem. Like I myself, I had it. I'm always myself, not because I can't mingle, but overcoming. I wanting to overcome this before it can be on the limelight. So I'll be able to overcome
Mhm.
this because I myself, I don't like mixing with people that are more richer than me, doing well than me. Like I believe that I'm always afraid. If they cheated me, I'll be like, oh, don't let me report them. Let me just leave it to God. And those things are affecting us one way or the other. So how able to scale up that even where your mates are, you are there. You are even competing with them until you become the best among them.
Ah, I think in that part, I don't know how much I did, but one thing that I learned, right, quite very young was how my brother was able to overcome this, right? My brother experienced this more than me because then it was even much tougher. There are like a lot of their friends in that estate that they will be like, their parent doesn't want their kids to work with us because they feel like we are like the lowest of that place, right? So in fact, there are some places that even though they are friends, in the community, their parents must not see them with with us, which is like my brothers. But I think one thing that got to me that he always says that he said it doesn't matter at the end of the day, just understand that nobody really likes you and
Hmm.
you are on your own and you have to make your own journey by yourself. I think it was very, very strong on that he was always very, very hardworking, like he had something to prove. So I think I don't know why he had that. Probably he got it from my dad, but he just had that mentality that you have something to prove So he's always like, I can remember the first day there was a conversation that he was having sometimes that he said that he was talking about some of his friends that when in Egypt, we cannot even go to their place when we were young. Their parents must not see us together. Like now, they were now inviting me to come to their place. Right? When he finished university, because they never thought he was going to go to university at all. When he finished university and he came home and said he was working with GT Bank, they now invited him to their place. Like these people that they cannot, they don't want to see, you with their kids. They are now inviting you. So I think that actually got to me like, so this is how it works, right? So I think I have that mentality of that. You just have to do whatever it takes. You are on your fight. People do not care, And I think that was really, really helpful. And again, growing up, meeting, like, I call him Badam Mutairo, meeting like people like that, the co-founder in Kuda and some other guys, Kadri Salami, and a lot of other guys in Abuja, and even in Unilorin then, I worked with some people that was very, very sharp. And some of the things that I learned from them was very, very helpful. So I have always having that mentality that, IT, and again, IT as well, when I was doing those IT, because I remember when I got to Abuja when I was serving, and everybody was hustling to get them posted to one juicy place and all of that. And they posted me to Amcon. Amcon was like one of the biggest places then, asset management of Nigeria. That place, they are making bastard money in that place. And it's not Ebunja and all those kind of scenarios, like they are stealing money. It's not like maybe they posted me to that place. I got there, I told them that they should reject me. The guy was like, look at you, we are going to reject you now. You know how many people have bring letter from Senate that we should take them, that we did not take them. You did not bring anything. You just bring one stupid NYC stuff. You said we should reject you with that. I'm even proud. And it's not like maybe I know they have been rejecting people and I don't even want to work there because I've already gotten a place to work. I've went to one IT company like that, and the IT company, they interviewed me, the man tested, we did a lot of interview, and he saw that I can work for them as a network engineer. That was my first job. And he gave me a letter to request that to NYC that I should be posted to that place. That NYC now did mistake and posted me somewhere else again. So I was very angry. I was like, they should just reject me in that place so that I can go back to NYC, that this is where I need you to post me to. So, and they got me posted to that place. And when I started working there after a month, they were like, wow. And I couldn't believe how much they paid me. They paid me 40K. Even those people that were hustling for CBN and the rest, it was 25K they were paying them.
Wow.
Most of the people is 25, 20K they were paying them. Even that Amcom is like 30K they were paying them there. But I went there, I worked for them as network engineer for like a year. They were paying 40K. That was So then it was quite very, very good. It was so that we were taking 19K from NYC then. So, it's just having that mindset that, and these are some of the things that, I was very focused about. I actually paid one guy in Ilorin then 6K for him to, because I was more into programming then and data science and all of that. I paid the guy 6K for him to train me on network engineering. This guy does work for Unilorin then. You do all this router, all this Unilorin network that I usually use then. This guy worked with Unilorin then. Yeah, to do it. So I paid him, and then I started, going around with him, with one of my guys like that, that introduced me to him, and what I learned from him was very, very good. With some courses of CCN and the rest too, and that was just the way it is. I think as a young person, you just have to know exactly what you want, right? Like I tell people, know what you want. For example, from your question that you asked, is university a scam? In some cases, it's just a waste of time, not even a scam. And this might be controversial. Yes, this might be controversial, but the truth is, if you know that what you want to do is tailoring, you should not go to university. Because it makes no sense for you to go and spend 4 or 5 years in the university and now still go and be sitting down with Auntie Ramata in Okyodo learning tailor for another 2 years. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to people, but why don't you sit down with Auntie Ramata, 2 years we are done and you're already making your money? If it's leadership that you want to learn or management in business, you can learn that in 3 months, how to manage business and grow business. So now, only if your aim is not to learn the tailoring, but to manage tailors, then I can agree that you should go to university. But you're not going to learn tailoring. You come out and then your idea in your head is that how can I put 2, 3 and Teramata that is a tailor together, manage them to be running this business, manage them to be doing the technical stuff, to be sewing, why I manage the business as an enterprise, put some process in place, put some program in place, advertisements, delivery, collection, measure, as in put some, strong process in place to manage it and make it an enterprise, a company, right? And Antiramata so for you. You can even make an arrangement with Antiramata that, okay, Antiramata, you are still working for yourself. This is what you are making. I understand that currently now, every month you probably make 30,000, but with this thing that I'm taking, I can tell you that in 6 months from now, you'll probably be making 70,000 because this is what we are going to do. This is what we are going to be doing. This is what we are going to be doing. And this is still different. You should not worry yourself about it. Because I have a process that works and we're going to be charging more. We're going to be getting more customer and you're going to be having a gorgeous time here in my shop while you work for me. But you now finish 4 years, 5. Some people even go for engineering course 5 years and they still go back to go and be learning tailor. I think they have wasted, and that is why, though I know that Nigeria is really bad and we shouldn't be talking about it for now, but one of the things that you will use to get Nigeria back on track, when you do some stuff, you need to do some stuff first. You can't start with this, just for you to remember, so that you don't look like, because some people will say that is not the first thing for us to do. Yes, I know that. But it will get to a point that you need to defund university education. Defund in the sense that whoever wants to go to university must pay for it. So let's say that we put university education at 2 million or 3 million. Now, put a loan to it. You are loaning 3 million to go to university. When you are done, you must pay it back. So at that point, people that are not sure of themselves going to university will not go. People that want to go and learn tailor will not go, because they will know that we need to pay this money back. It will only be for people, right, that knows that I want to go to university to study agric engineering and I must become one of the best agric engineer in the country. In the next 5 years, I will pay your 3 million back, no doubt. Some people will even say that in the next 2 years, I will pay it back when I finish, because I know what I'm doing. They will never finish university and go and be learning Baba again. Because they will not be able to pay it back. So is it that you are a scholar, and we will have scholarship for scholars. Scholars in the sense that if you have a very good result, that shows that you are ready to go to uni and you are interested, we can give you scholarship that will cut it down. But if you're not a scholar, but you still believe in yourself that this school system is for you, we will give you loan to go to university. But that money that we are defunding from the university education will now be put into primary and secondary education, which means that the content of education you'll be getting in your primary and secondary will become so strong that you, except if you want to become an expert in a particular field before you go to uni. That is the way it's being done here, really. Here, is either you are a scholar, you get a scholarship, or you are getting loan to go to uni. But in their primary and secondary, they are funding it so highly that they'll get valuable education, that you don't even know a difference between someone that just finished secondary and some of our Nigerian people that finish university, because the focus is on primary and secondary education. And that is it. So we will now turn it upside down. I don't know how we do things in Nigeria, but I think those are some of the things, that, we really have to, but we cannot start with that, of course, because some things we have to get some things right first, right? We have to get some things right, because people cannot be stealing money and you don't expect people to, and you want to be giving people loan to go to uni, because you two are stealing money now. You get. So we have to get to a point that, people are responsible, for what they are doing. And then I think that is one of the ways that you can, use to. So when people finish their secondary, they will decide what they want. Someone that wants to go into photography, you don't need to spend 5 years studying engineering. Go to photography school in 1 year and go and be doing your photography. 4 years after, you should have made so much money from it than studying some calculus or some nonsense that doesn't matter to your photography journey.
Exactly. Thank you very much, sir. What you said now just reminded me about one of the bad things that always happen in Nigeria. You know, people go to university as good as federal university or private university, now coming back to go and learn. No, coming back to be looking for a job for the next 4 years, for the next 5 years. Whereas, let's say they even make mistake of going to the university. For you to go to the university of any other institution, it's so difficult for you to learn in just a year. Like, do you want to go to engineering or welding or tailoring? Like 1 year is the maximum that should be. Not that let me
Exactly.
be looking for the next 5 years. And Nigeria is not good. Let me look for a job. Let me look for money to just jump
Exactly.
without having any prior plan. So just thank you very much for what you just said now. I would like to ask you this question too. So how do you get started, or anybody that want to get started in cybersecurity or engineering network or networking, as you just said now? What are the basis? What are the steps one need to follow? Like, let's say I want to start what you are doing now, cybersecurity. Where will I start from? Will I start from taking courses from Udemy? Will I need to go and meet somebody in university doing router and follow them up and down? Like the way you get started. So what do you advise us to do?
I think the main thing is to have that drive and that concept of I need to do this and I need to do it, right? I think that's what really matters because so many people pass through different routes, even though in most cases the route might be very, very similar. And the route, which is very similar, is I have a mentor, right? This guy is the first. There's a certification by Cisco called CCDE, right? This guy is the first to
Okay.
have that certification in the whole of West Africa. And as of the
Wow.
time he had the certification, there are only two. The other guy in South Africa. This guy is a leader in Cisco right now in Saudi Arabia, and he also happens to, he's such an amazing guy. This guy worked for Cisco. He goes everywhere. They just sent him today Mexico, tomorrow France, to do assessments and all of that of network around the world. And he was telling me his story. He said when he was learning, he's from this guy was the guy he was meant to become the director of NITA. He rejected the offer. He was also meant to become the minister for communication. He also rejected the offer.
Minister here in Nigeria.
Yes, he rejected it. This guy is from Katsina. In fact, his surname is Daura.
Hmm.
His surname is Daura. He's from Buhari's place, Gengen. In fact, his father is like a very big man for that place. They call his father Daura. Their family name is Daura. Ashiru Aminu Daura. This guy. You understand? This guy rejected the offer 2 times. And he was telling me about his story. He said when he was in uni, his father gave him a house because his father was expecting him to get married soon. So he gave him a house. And he said he sold the house and used it to ship router switches and all of these things from abroad to Nigeria. And he started working on it. That he worked on it so much that it got to a point that when he goes out, his mom will chase him back inside that, Shebi, you are not coming out. Just go and be doing your thing. No, we don't want to do anything with you. Like, he was so intense in what he does that, his mom and everyone was like fighting him. And when he passed the CCIE then, he said people were calling him from all over the world, from Mexico, from US, that does he want to take a role. That most of the time when they call himself, he doesn't hear what they are saying because the English, is this guy has never left Daura. He passed CCIE, and they are trying to employ him in US. And when they call him, hello, how you doing? He doesn't hear what they are saying. So he was struggling. And then one day, someone called him from Saudi, and he spoke to the person, and he told his dad that someone wants to employ him in Saudi. And his dad was like, yes, Saudi is fine. These, Aboki people now, like, Saudi is better. Not all these America, UK that you've been telling us since, that Saudi is good. That was how he got the job in Saudi in 2009, I think, in 2009. And he has been there since then. So looking at his journey, they were kind of rich. He studied so hard. But I think he's the only one that I see that has taken that path. Most of the people that I see, in fact, Kadri Salami that I said, built a company in Abuja and resigned at 40, enjoying his life now. I envy him. I look up to him because even though the company might not be like biggest company, but he built something to an extent that the company has become well structured. They are making money. He was the CEO, and after 10 years, he resigned as the CEO, employed someone, and he became the chairman, and he's just chilling at home, and they are running the business for him. You get what I mean? At 40. You get, so, and he's also doing other business now. He's into another kind of thing that is running with his wife, which I envy a lot. I just look at them and be like, oh, this is really awesome, right? Because even though it might not be the biggest thing, but they're having a gorgeous time. They have something that is sustainable. They can do whatever they want. If they want to leave to Canada today, they have so much fun they don't have to go through, things are quite much more better, right? But he too, when I heard his story, he followed someone in Ilorin then, doing computer center, cyber cafe, installing cyber cafe all around, right? When I talk about most of these people, they do similar things. So I started to think that I think one of the best way is to look for someone that knows the way and follow the person. Just like in the word of one of my organs like that, it says that if you know who has done it before, I can't believe it, I've forgotten. But the quote goes this way, that if you have seen someone that has done it before,
Yes.
your journey is
short.
easy or short or something like that. If you know where someone has done it before, your journey is easy. If you have seen someone that have done it before, your journey is more easy. But it has a way of placing it that if you now know personally who has done something like that before, I think your journey is clear, easy, short, something like that. But if you are ready to make yourself, I think that is the part I'm going to, which is quite very interesting, that if you are ready to submit yourself as an apprentice to the person that has done it before, the guy now said, congratulations, you are there. Like, your journey is not short, it's not easy, it's not that you are at your destination. If you can commit yourself as an apprentice to the person that has done it before, forget, you are there. And now in the UK, what I now notice is that is their system here, apprenticeship. All these, their guys, they have an amazing secondary and primary education. And as soon as they are done with their primary and secondary, they have this apprenticeship program. All over the place where you go around, you see the poster. They want to apply for apprenticeship in cyber, in network, in systems, customer support, all this kind of work. That is what they do. So apprenticeship, they finish secondary school by 18 or 17. They joined this apprenticeship, they started working. They become global leaders in IT. That is what they do. That is the way they go. This thing, there's no magic about it. When someone shows you the way, by you doing it yourself and following the person, you become an expert in it. So find someone that has done it. And this is also true. The other time I studied Israel, there's a unit in Israel called Unit 800. Unit 800 is under their Ministry of Defense. Unit 800 is like an apprenticeship package for some of the baddest Israelites that we have today that are doing in IT. So what they do is that, in Israel, whenever you finish your secondary school, you are compulsory to join military. So from that military, at 18 or 17, they now select some few guys, put them in cyber IT unit, and started training them, allowing them to do technical stuffs. All the router, switches, firewall, Office 365, any kind of technologies, they use it, they do it there. So guys are with them, training them. They do it for like 2-3 years, 4 years, and they get job directly in Microsoft, Google, Amazon, everywhere that you can talk about in the world. And that was how those guys become so very rich. Some of the largest security appliances we use today is owned by Israel. Palo Alto is owned by them. Checkpoint is owned by them. These are like we have 3 major firewall companies in the world: Palo Alto, Checkpoint, and Cisco. This guy owns 2. This thing that Buhari just bought, monitoring, they are monitoring our WhatsApp now and calls and all of that. They bought it from Israelite.
Okay.
From NSO Group. These guys have because those young guys, they just select them, put them in this apprenticeship program, and they become crazily good in that space. So I think the methodology is all over there. It's just to find someone that has been doing it and attach yourself to the person. It doesn't have to be like someone might be looking at me and be saying that, oh, I'm just finishing secondary school. Should I follow LEKAN? Should I talk to me? It's good, we can talk and all of that, but you don't have to talk to me. Look for someone close, learn from the person. When you are done learning with the person, don't let the person take you like this. You know what you are there to do. You know what you are there to learn. When you are done learning, move to the next person if the person is not giving you what you need. Right? Because some people might be so dormant in the sense that it's not
They'll
dormant,
commit.
they might be satisfied with what they have and who they
I
have.
get.
I know some of the people that I've learned from today, learned from in the past, that they are learning from me today. I can't several of them because when I'm done learning from you and you are not like moving to the next stage for me to learn from the next stage from you, I look for someone that is in the next stage to learn from. Right? I
I
look
get
for the
that. I
lesson.
get
So
that.
when I'm asking you questions today about level 2, you are giving me those answers, you are helping me. When I'm expecting us to start questioning about level 3 and you are not giving me those answers, I need to go and look for someone that is on level 3 to ask those questions from. Right? And when I'm done, I'll go to except if you two, you are constantly moving up. That's the only way we can still be, having that relationship of mentorship and, learning from each other. Really.
Yes, sir. Let me ask the next question. Like Nigeria right now. I used to have so many people abroad. You are one of them anyway. You're lawyer graduates, many of my colleagues. I've been seeing them in pictures, UK, Canada, USA. I was like, "Ah, I never had a plan of living in Nigeria. Like I still believe in racing, doing businesses here, like building companies, empire, and the like. But at some point, I used to feel like, oh, I think I'm becoming lonely. Oh. Now only me in Nigeria. So, do you have any do you have advice for people that want to live in Nigeria, or can you still say people should be in Nigeria because of Because some people believe that if they leave Nigeria, there won't be any problem. All their problem are solved. Whereas people that are still in Nigeria trying to strive hard, they don't have any issue before due to all the securities and economic problem. They are feeling so isolated that, oh, maybe if I move to other places, it will be more better for me. So, what do you advise concerning that? Is it a good thing to leave Nigeria, or is it a bad thing? Or how can somebody balance the two if you can't even live in Nigeria and you want to be enjoying? How does it people like those outside the country? What can such a person do?
I think this is kind of a part. I think this is much of a personal question in the sense that I
Okay.
think you can't really make a decision for someone. It's really what you want. On a lighter note, I would say go and join politics. Right? That's what I would say. But on a more serious note, I can't really. It depends on what you want for yourself, the kind of life that you want. Right? Nigeria is good. Nigeria is fine. As far as I'm concerned, I don't believe in Nigeria. To be sincere with you, I don't.
Hmm.
I don't. And my reason is very, very clear. You know, we we have been in this space for how long? I don't see it working, unfortunately. Even it's not about changing the president, right? President is really nothing. But
Hmm.
the structure is not meant to work. The structure was created by the colonial masters to keep us in shackle and to control us, to manage us, to cage us, to take our resources. If you think you can run with that shackle, you'll be foolish. If you think you will run with those shackles, you'll be foolish to think so. You must remove that shackles. The shackles was meant for us to be exploited. And that is why they continue to exploit us till today. They continue to exploit us. A lot of people are living in Nigeria, but most people will not talk about it. It's really, really crazy. It's like slavery part 2 that is going on in the UK right now.
Wait,
Slavery
wait,
part
wait.
2.
Wait, please come again. When it comes to that, please come again. Like, as you said, my heart just jump a bit. Like, please, like,
So what I mean is that the, there's nowhere that can be like your place.
hmm,
If you don't fix the troubles or the problems or those things that are not working in your place, and you go to other places, it won't really work like that. It's not gonna be easy. I know. I know what I have to put in place, what I put in place to be at the kind of job that I do right now. I know that on a normal day, if I'm British,
hmm,
okay, I know where I will be. I know the kind of work that I put into what I have in my team. No one has my certification, right? Including probably even my, I hope he's not listening to me, probably even my director. You get?
hmm.
Let me see. I hope he's not with me here.
Not there. No
Okay,
external.
yeah.
No external.
You know, you know,
No external. Say,
you get.
wow, wow.
It doesn't have it. So I have to do 2 times or 3 times what they have
Add that.
for me to get what I want. 2, 3 times. So the fact is that it's crazily hard here too. Right? On a
Crazily
normal
add
day,
that.
crazily hard. You understand? But it is what it is. Right?
So, what advice
So
can you give to someone that want to leave, and those that be like, oh, because some people they are feeling like all their friends are there, they want to go too. Some believe that if they go there, all
no,
their problems.
I would say, like I said, like the beginning, this is a personal question. If you want to leave, I think it's better. I think it's better,
Okay,
to be sincere. I think it's better to leave. Apart from the fact that you'll be gaining global experience, you'll be making so much more because the economy of Nigeria is in shambles right now. They've run it literally to the ground. Yeah, I think those two things are quite very important. But then I feel like you must by all means be ready to do 2 times now or 3 times work in the sense that you
what
must, because if you are not, people are not really, a lot of people come here for masters. It's extremely hard for them to get a job. Extremely, really hard. I know a lot of people. I finished my masters 8 months ago, and I know only a very few of us have gotten a job.
in
Probably in a
UK, right?
class of maybe, yes, probably in a class that has 12 cybersecurity guys. I think I was the only one that got job immediately we finished. And even like 3, 4 months later, I was still the only one until I recommended 2 of my guys to my manager
Hmm,
and they got a role with us. They started with us. That was when we became 3.
hmm,
That got a job out of a cybersecurity class of like 12 or 13 Nigerians.
hmm.
Until and then a month after, another guy got a job. So out of like 12 of us, only 4 got a job 8 months after.
Hmm.
That means 8 are still doing whatever comes. So they are making money, but the jobs they are doing are jobs that when you're in Nigeria, you will never do it.
Hmm.
You will never do it. You get. But yeah, they just have to survive. They have to pay the rent, and it's about surviving here. In as much as you are not doing anything illegal or anything, just do what you have to do, and get along with it. You understand? But then it doesn't. Right now, I do training on cybersecurity, and that is why I started. Right, because the guys that I recommended, my managers, I know what I have to put in place for them. Like even in regards to sharing with them core information of what my manager is going to have exactly. Because I went through that same stuff and I was able to scale through. And that was because I at least I've been in this space for some time, right? I've done some of the like, and they were very, very amazed about my certification. Like, this is really, look, when I go for program, the kind of program that certification allowed me to enter, even they cannot enter. I did a program with the London City Police. It is based on membership, and those that have that certification alone, they cannot go. You understand? I did last week, I was in London again for another program by Google. They cannot go because it's like member only kind of stuff. You get so but I had all of this before I left Nigeria, which is what just made it a little bit much easier. So if you don't have all of that, it's more harder. Right? I was working on diplomatic mission. I have most of this certification. I have experience. I've worked globally. So, the way I also interact is a little bit much different when you look at it, because I've been in situations that were tough. I've led people. I was president of a Toastmaster where people that are there are like way older than me. We have people like my Ogas. I have this Kadri Salami that I'm saying is my mentee in Toastmaster. We way older than me, who I look up to when it comes to business and all of that, is my mentee in Toastmaster then. Is one of the people that I train on leadership, communication, and all of that, right? So when I got here, it's just like all of these guys, me, it's just like no one can really intimidate me, right? Because there's no big deal. There's no really big deal.
Thank you very much. You just say something that is very, very eye-opening, like to be in another country. So, do you read books, or what form of personal development do you engage yourself in? Because believe me, it is not
I'm
easy.
very, very bad now. I'm lost. I used to read a lot of books. I think in
Okay.
2017, I probably read maybe like 60 books. In 2017, I read a lot of books in 2017. 2016, 2017, I read a lot of 2016, 2017. Yeah, I read a lot of books. But I've been really bad at reading books these days. But I just listen to YouTube videos, shots of the books. I listen to them. Yeah, I think that's what I use now. And sometimes when I was in Abuja too, whenever I'm driving, then I used to play all these audio books and all of that. But I've been really, really bad. I really want to go back, because normally you should be reading like one book a week. But I've been very, very bad. Hopefully I'll go back soon, because you probably need it for your survival. Like, you need to consume a lot of information and knowledge for you to be able to compete in the global space. It's not about, it's not mediocre, it's not excuse, it's not this. These guys are very, very smart, and then you need to, to have a very high level of understanding before you can. And then also, I think one other thing is you must learn specific skills. You must evaluate yourself all the time. When I was in Nigeria, I started Toastmaster because I was lacking the ability to speak the way I want in front of audience. Now I probably I've been doing it for the past 4 years, and probably doesn't matter what kind of audiences, I can speak in front of any kind of audience at any time. Even when I was in uni, they invited me to represent the school so many times. I represented them at the British Computer Society, at the something engineering and technology. Even when the students were like, they wanted a fund based on stuff, I made it my course to actually represent the students to some extent and request for a refund, because we are not going to school, and then so the school took our money, but we're not going to school, we're learning online. So students were like, we should get refund now. I was very, very strong that I made it very clear that, we need to get refund, blah, blah, blah. And the woman too was very, very tough. She was pushing back. I said, no, you cannot push me back. And she was like one of the top officials in the unit. So it doesn't matter. You just have to learn the specific skills on what you need. So if you are the kind of person that you find it hard to speak in front of audience, learn to speak. Take Toastmasters. If you are the kind of person that you find it hard to do something, technical skills, find someone to learn from. Be an apprentice to someone. Learn from the person. You thank yourself for it, really. Yeah. And one quote that I've had that really works is that you don't have to. You must read books. You must read books. book actually directed me to Toastmaster. One of the books by Brian Tracy that I was reading was what directed me to Toastmaster. And one thing that I found very interesting is that, all the books in the world, I believe, can solve all the problems in the world. All the books in the world can solve all the problems in the world. But you as a person, you don't have to read all the books in the world because you don't have all the problems in the world, right? You don't have all the problems in the world. So you just have to read those books. You just have to read those books that speak to your problem. You have a particular or specific problem. Read the book that speak to those problems, and then you will find a solution to it. By the time you read 2, 3, 4, 5 books, God willing, you definitely find something to do about it, which is what I did. I started reading. If you don't know, I failed terribly when I was in 400 level, at 300 level, because they pushed me to become president of our department. Because they wanted me to become president. They were just like, I should go. When it comes to the manifesto, I didn't. When you became, no, I lost out. And it was because I couldn't speak in front of audience then. I find it hard to speak. They thought I was going to speak very well because I was quite very open to everybody. I talk, I do this. But when I got on top of the podium, I find it really, really hard to speak well the way I wanted. I knew this wasn't the way I should speak in front of a large audience. What differentiates between exceptional people is, someone might say the same story, what you have said, but what differentiates two people that have said the same thing is one will say it and nothing will happen, and the other person will say it and there's going to be a standing ovation. The same message is just the way you put it, how you're able to attach yourself to their emotion, send the message on. I think that matters a lot. That I discovered I did not have. So I started Toastmaster and it has been a very good journey. Now I'm supposed to join in UK. I did not join because at this point there are more things that I need to focus on. I think to some extent I've gained my confidence when it comes to speaking, and there are other things that I need to work on now, right? So it's just about solving those particular stuff at the particular time, and learning from them. I see someone saying load. I think someone saying load. I think probably he could remember that time because we finished together.
Wow, that's awesome. So
You could remember that time
if anybody wants to join Toastmaster, what would be how will someone become a member of Toastmaster? Like right here in Nigeria, is there a particular step? Is there a membership fee? Is there a website one needs to follow? Just like
Yes,
that.
no, just search for Toastmasters International. You see the website toastmasters.org. Go to the website. You see a box wherever you are in the world. You see a board that say find a club near you. Put your city in there, and it's going to bring all the clubs that you have in that city for you, and then you can call them or anything, no matter where city you are. When I was struggling in communication, I started reading books, and I knew about Toastmaster. I've seen some of the amazing videos on YouTube, but it was all these white people that I was seeing, and I was in Abuja then. And one day I was reading the Brian Tracy book, Eat the Frog or something like that.
Eat that frog, yes.
Yes, and there was a space or something. I don't know, maybe it's Eat that frog or one of the books. And he said, find a local Toastmasters club. And to my brain, it was like, local Toastmaster. Do you mean local? Do you mean like local, like the city that you have, local to you? And I searched on Google, and I saw like 10 clubs. Like, wow. And I started calling them, and that was why I started. Right? I called them, I went for the club meeting. I remember when they asked me at my first meeting, what does leadership mean to you? And I went to the front of them, and they asked me, what does leadership mean to you? And I was frozen. I was like, and all of them were like looking like me like this. That's okay, thought. Like, in other places, they will just clap for you and ask you to go and sit. They did not ask you to go and sit too. They were waiting for you. You don't know that I was frozen here. Instead of you guys to allow me to go and sit, you guys, all of you are just waiting for me like this. They've just put me there. They're just waiting for me. Then I now calmed down and I started talking. And it was very good to me because they gave me that opportunity, that podium. And they didn't take it back. It was just like, it's a normal thing, guy. And I started talking to them and I said, I'm not sure what leadership truly means to me. I remember the final answer I gave that. I'm not sure what leadership truly means to me today, but I'm here to learn and I'll be back to give you your response. And I was able to give that response.
The clout.
Eventually, eventually, when I became the president, when I was handing over the presidency, when I became the president, when I was handing over, I later gave that answer. Because normally, Toastmasters presidency in Nigeria, most of all the clubs in Nigeria, particularly in Abuja, they took them 1 year. And I was able to achieve my presidency time in just 6 months because I achieved what we usually achieve in a year in 6 months. And then there's a bylaw in Toastmasters regulation that if you can achieve everything in 6 months, you can do another election for another person. Because it's like leadership in training. When you become the president, you are being trained to become a leader of a club. So when you finish all of those tasks, you give opportunity to someone else to become the president and go through that learning. Because no one is going to do it for you. You will come, you will gather the club for a meeting, you handle the club, you do all of this, you talk to a lot of people, you manage the executive, they want to do the poster, they want to post, they want to work with the members to collect funding, to collect money. Like you do all of, so it's like training. So you have tasks that you have to do, and if you can finish all of the tasks within 6 months, you can do another election so someone else can come. And then we finish all the tasks. We go to Toastmasters. They said we can go on. We did an election. Okay, we have to also do an election internally to decide if we want to, before they can even allow me to change it to 6 months instead of 1 year. I have to do election internally again. We conducted an election, and then they allowed, after they allowed, we started campaigning that, okay, people can now go for offices, and then people started campaigning, and they, and since then, the club has become one of the best clubs in Nigeria today because other clubs are having past presidents. Okay, now in the past 2 years since I left the presidency, we've had 4 past presidents.
Within
But
2 years.
other club, yeah, in 2 years. But every other club in the same Nigeria only have 2 past presidents. So what it means is that you have more stronger membership base because all of these past presidents are more good in their leadership skill, in their communication skills, and they represent the club even more better. So people learn much faster, people develop more faster, both for the executive, both for the members. So it was quite really amazing. It was quite really amazing. So, I think it's just about putting yourself out there. And, I think that's the thing, putting yourself out there and learning as much as you can. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If like assuming you're not into cybersecurity now, is there another thing you'll be doing? Like maybe you'll be in sports or maybe you'll be in entertainment. Like what other thing do you think we will be doing if not cybersecurity?
I know I can't be in entertainment, sports. I love football, but I got injury when I was in GS2 and I couldn't play as much. I couldn't play as much, even though I still play now, but I can't play professionally because, I had an injury that was really bad. But I didn't think so. What will I be doing? I can't do medicine. I hate blood. I don't like seeing blood. I used to get. But the other time I'm even better now because there was a time I intentionally was putting myself under that condition to see more blood all the time, either just watching video or something, just for me to overcome that fear of seeing blood. Because I used to, when I see blood, I feel somehow, and it was like this shouldn't be, So I started putting myself in that position, so that I can see, more blood and all of that. I think that's one of the things that I've learned. If there's something you are scared of, put yourself in that position more, right? Put yourself in that position more, and you overcome it. Yeah. I don't know. What will I be doing?
You can be a professor. You look like one.
No, I can't. I'm not a. I just. I'm not a typical classroom person. I'm not. I don't like classroom. I think I will probably be a business person because I love business. I've started quite a number of companies. I started a company, Cybergate. I started it in Nigeria, right? I think about 3 years ago with some other friends and my orgas. Some of my orgas were involved. Yeah, and today we are also running it in the UK, right? And before that time, I also started a company long ago called Sub and Sell. That one crashed, but then I'm even thinking of reviving it because the idea was quite very good. It's just I love to solve problems, right? I think that's one thing that I like, to solve problems, you know. then the company will solve and sell, which the idea is that you solve any kind of problem and you sell the result really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I want to ask you this question, sir. I think generally on a global level, there are something they call low income skill and high income skill. For Afri Nigerians that are live watching you right now, that's probably they are still looking towards how to figure out some things. What skills can you recommend? You know, one thing about we Nigerians is just that anything that give us money, definitely we have passion for it. Or along the even if we didn't have passion for it, once we make the money, we can use the money to fund our passion. So I myself,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of look for the money, your passion. So look for the use the money to fund your passion. I'm a fan of that. So what skill do you think or
Okay.
do you consider as highly paid skills that if a Nigerian can venture into it will change their life because if you change their life, they can also change their environment and so many things and they will not ever
I
think
think
of going to
I think
legal.
the answer, I think the answer to that is quite simple. I think it's IT. But apart from that, what you like, even though I have a bit of struggle with believing that there's a passion, right? I have a bit of struggle believing that there's something called passion. I think in some cases it might be true, but I feel in most cases there's nothing like passion. Is what you spend so much time on that becomes your passion. And that is why you see a 9-year-old girl or a boy dancing exceptionally well. It's not because they had passion for it, but when you look very closely to their family, they are always have this TV on with people dancing, and this little girl has always been watching it. The same way you will see a 9-year-old girl or boy that passed a CCNA exam, or that is writing program, or that is doing this, is because his dad or his mom has put him in that position to learn those programming skills. He has spent so much time on it, and it has become part of him that has now become like his passion. Like I think it was Google CEO that said that if he had followed his passion, he would be a swimmer. But his dad said that you're not going to be a swimmer. You'll never be a swimmer. And that was why he go into IT because he thought his passion was in swimming and swimming. You know, but probably that's not why. Probably it's just because he had access to the pool and was swimming. That was why he thought his passion was in swimming. So it's about what really works. What do you think works? Spend a lot of time with it, and that will probably become your passion. Although this is not true all the time, because I understand that there are some things that I cannot do, right? There are some
Sure.
things that I cannot just do. Or even if I try to, not because I don't like it, but because when I do it, it doesn't stick or it doesn't. But I still feel like maybe if I spend more time with it, maybe I would find, maybe I would get it right. Or maybe if I wasn't distracted with it, or maybe if I did it earlier when I had no much of challenges or things to think about, I would have gotten it right. Which might be also very true because I've had one of my very, very good mentors that says that you cannot learn programming when you are like 20, right? You need to learn it when the best time you can learn programming is probably when you are still in uni, that you are not pressed for money. But when you started being pressed for money and you started learning programming, you get distracted because you need to focus all your attention on it. But if you are thinking of money and thinking of programming at the same time, one must suffer for one. You get you have to just if you don't balance, there's no way you can really do. So I think passion may be
Um,
true, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I want to ask this question. Have you been in a situation whereby where you are today, right? Many people are like, oh, I want to be in Java shoe, I want to be doing this, I want to be so good at what I do, like the way it's doing. Is it because you are lucky, or have you ever been lucky in your life? Like the word luck, can you say, oh, maybe I was lucky to be where I am today, or I work my
Yes,
ass
of
off to
course.
get.
Yes, of course. Luck is a thing. Luck is
Okay.
a thing. Yeah, I believe so very strongly. I think luck is a thing. Even as a Muslim, I believe so very strongly in luck. And the way it works is this, right? This is the way it works. One of my pivotal moments that I can remember was meeting the person I call Brother Mataigo, who is the co-founder of Brother now. And my mom just told his dad that, ṣé Mutairu lè kọ́ JAMIU ní kìnìkan kìnìkan. And that was it. And that had so much impact on me.
That
So
simple
I
statement.
couldn't say, yes, I couldn't say honestly that that was my effort. I don't know, maybe you get it. You know, just
Yes.
meeting someone can have so much impact on you, and you'll feel like this impact, I can't say this is my effort. Because if I had not met this person, I probably wouldn't have learned this thing and become so good in it like this. Or I probably wouldn't have heard about it. You know, someone will just meet someone and say, come on, some people are selling land in somewhere or something. No. And that was just it. That is not your work.
Like,
That is
in
just
fact,
luck. We are just at the right time, at the right place. You just hear it, and that was just it. You couldn't place you can't take the credit for it. I think that is luck. Right? Because you can't claim the credit for it. If the person had not spoken, or even if he had had a cough that time, and he forgot what he wanted to say, that was it. They will never say that. Assuming my mom had just had a cough a minute before, and then she forgot what she wants to say, they would have had other conversation with that man, and she probably wouldn't have talked about that particular stuff, and I probably wouldn't have met with him and started liking mathematics, because I don't really like mathematics earlier. But they are just two. When it showed me how to, because I was struggling with simultaneous equation and quadratic equation in school, and within a week it showed me, and I went to class and I had like 20/20 in that general mathematics nonsense book, and that was just it. And I was like excited that, hey, this is how it feels, and that was just it. And I keep getting it right on maths since then, which drive my interest also computer science as well. Maybe I will have run from computer science to say, okay, this one that hates mathematics, let me not go near anything computer or engineering or something. Let me go for my bio sciences, you know, and so on and so on and so forth and so on. So at the end of the day, I feel, and that is why I tell people in IT today, that it seems to have pretty much a better life than some other people. It's not because you are smart that you are in IT. It becomes somehow you were in IT somehow, and IT became the most awesome stuff today, right? Somehow you were just into IT. It's not because you are smart. That is why you could have gone for medicine. You could have gone for anatomy and not find a job today. Or you could have said, I want to become medicine. And you will think then that you are doing a fantastic job. You are smart. You are going for medicine. You go for medicine. They did not give you medicine. They give you anatomy or physiology. You did it. You finish. You're like, I'm in anatomy or physiology per se. You say, let me go and learn tailor, or let me sell slippers, or let me sell something. And then you left totally from what you want to do. Or in some cases, you just got pushed into IT and say, this IT is good though. Why don't you try this thing? And you did it, and you just keep doing it, and you just keep doing it. You did programming, you did network, and today you are like a technical cybersecurity consultant with Microsoft. You're like, I'm doing well. But when you look at it deeply, you know that there is strongly a atom, far more than an atom of luck in this particular journey that I've took. Because I could have taken any other journey, but somehow I'm on this path today, and I'm so happy I did. So yes,
Wow.
definitely, I believe strongly in luck.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, what are your plans for the future? Maybe you'll be working with Google, Facebook, or so many big companies like, oh, this is what I want to do in the future. Or maybe I will retire and I will set up something like that. Like your future vision, your future goals. Or maybe I'll contest for the president of Prime Minister of UK, or go contest for president in USA, things like that. Of course, which is possible anyway.
I'm actually thinking of politics in UK, Sha. I'm actually thinking of politics. But I
Why,
don't know
why not?
yet.
Why not
Eh?
Nigeria? Why not Nigeria?
I've told you at the beginning now that the kind of politics that is being played in Nigeria, I don't want to be part of it. Right? I feel like it's unfair, And I also believe so very strongly that whatever you do, you are accountable for it. You know,
Hmm.
you'll be accountable for it. If not in this life, definitely in the hereafter. You'll be
Hmm.
accountable
Hmm.
for it. So if you treat people unfairly, the money that they're supposed to use to build hospital, a lot of people are having the kind of governance that you're supposed to have created, policies, program. A lot of people are dying today because you do not do it, and you will be responsible for it. There's no hiding place for you at this day that we're talking about, which is like hereafter, which I believe strongly in. I know some people does not believe in it, but I do, and I know that you will be responsible for whatever it is that you do, either you want it or
Hmm.
not. It's not a matter of maybe you will be responsible. So I don't want to be responsible for such kind of causing, causing, these kind of things in this world. So I'll better be nothing than to be part of the problem.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
talking about what I would like to do in the future, I think I'm just trying to really do my uh, while I work, do my cyber security company and build processes, programs by the side, which is what I'm currently working on, cyber gate technologies, which is like with my team. I think that's my focus for now. Yeah, and also helping as much people as I can. I do training for people on cyber, and people that I do it for are like people that I know that they are struggling to get into because I know the kind of requirement that is put on cyber in the UK. So the requirement is so high for we that we are international students. It's very, very high. And a lot of people does not have that experience, they do not have that skills, they do not have that, certifications. So I try to train them. That's what I've been doing all today. I've done like I've done a 3 hour class, I've done a 5 hour class today.
Is it
Right.
for free or you get paid for it?
No, no, paid. It's
Okay.
managed by CyberGate as well. Yeah, it's managed by the company. So I'm just like the lead instructor for the program. So which I just train technical stuff different from what is being taught in school because I think my school, Birmingham City Uni, was one of the best school with the best curriculum because I was invited by my professor to contribute to the course material for the year
Hmm.
after myself. So after towards the end of our program, I was invited to add what did I think about the course module and the materials and all of that, and what do I think that students will like. So I added some input, and I think it was really really good. But most of the school does not have that kind of material. But even with my school that had a very good material, what we're teaching is not for the job market. It's different totally. The job market is different from what you are taught in school. The job market needs something more technical, more hands-on, which is what I train. So and I'm doing it even at a very discounted price because it's my time is worth more than that. But I know that it's something that is good service to the people that are of black race to have more opportunity here to compete.
Okay.
Yeah.
And somebody just dropped a question. It said during your course of journey, looking for knowledge, building yourself, that do you have what they call imposter syndrome? And if so, how will you be able to overcome it? Like imposter syndrome, and how you able to overcome it?
Imposter syndrome. That was a very good question. I spoke about it earlier today with one
Wow.
of my students actually because he used to think that he doesn't even want to apply for job because I think me, I used to scatter imposter syndrome. Like I used to tear it into pieces. I go for even things that is way, way, way more higher than me, and I'll force myself onto it. And I don't care if you feel like I cannot do it. That's fine, but you will not. I will not cut myself short because one thing I believe so very strongly is that there is someone right now that is not as good as you are, and is doing that same thing that you wanted to do. Is not as good
Hmm.
as you are, and is doing that same thing that you wanted to do.
Hmm.
So if there should be someone like that, why not me then? So I don't feel intimidated by anything that maybe I'm not good enough or something. If you feel I'm not good enough, fire me.
Hmm.
But if you feel like you can manage me, that means I'm trying, man. And I've not seen anyone even fire me. The role I got at the embassy, many people will feel like, This role is big, blah blah blah. You know,
Okay.
when I first joined, the person that was my manager that was working with me, which is my senior, it's not like my manager, he's just like a senior guy I was assisting in, had like 15 or 16 years experience working in different places. I only had 2 years experience then. And I joined him. And within a year and a half, he left and I became the main person.
Hmm.
And I worked there for 4 years. When I first started, it was crazy because people wanted to, it's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. They wanted to take the job. But I got from 4 years.
Hmm. Hmm.
4 years.
It's not.
Nothing, just, I think there was a time I used to be scared, but I put myself into a position that I became kind of toughen up myself. One of the way that I did is that there was a time that for like 2 months, I was causing trouble with every taxi driver that entered his car. Because I used to be very scared of, causing trouble, causing wala. Like, I'll feel like, but I want to get used to trouble. That if there is trouble, I can still survive. I can still think properly, even if there is challenges. So I will tell the driver that I'm not paying. The driver will first laugh. Are you joking? In Abuja,
Is
I
that
would say, I'm not, Oga, me, this is all for you. I'm not paying. When I now say, they will not change it for me. That, my fuck. Okay, sorry. I'll now pay. I just wanted to be in that position that there is a raise in your body temperature. You know, when there's issue, when someone is fighting you or someone is angry with you, or you're about to fight or something, there's this raise in your mind. Can you control that? Right? But you don't know if you can control it except you put yourself in that position and you manage the situation. You say, oh, guy, calm down. We can manage this, and you pay. I read this from a guy that said he was very, very scared. And one of the things that I did was that he was lying down in the middle of major cities around the world. And he made that video is on YouTube. You can probably see it. The guy was lying down. If you just say, like, we just go to one city center or somewhere, he would just lie down on the floor for 30 minutes, for 5 minutes. He said that was how he was able to overcome his shyness. He used to be very timid and all of that. But he will now lie down. People will now be coming and looking at him like that. People will now surround him that what is going on. That was how he was able to overcome that fear. Right. So you have to put yourself in that position. So after he did it for like 30 days, he said 30 days of it. That was what he did in different cities. Then it now became like nothing will happen self now. Some people when they are in public space, they don't want to make any mistake that will put attention on them. They don't want any mistake that will put that attention on them. That will now feel embarrassed or something. That will now make them feel embarrassed that, don't embarrass me. So he was intentionally embarrassing himself by sleeping on the floor, on the main road, on the road where everybody is walking, you just go to that challenge, you now lie on the floor. Everybody is passing beside you. What is more embarrassing than that? You now do that for 30 days. There's nothing that can make you to become embarrassing. So that way you become vocal. Some people, they cannot even talk loud where many people are. Because they don't want people to hear their voice because they feel like people will start looking at me. People will now start looking at me. You have to overcome that. You don't care if people look at you. When people look, you look at them too. You look at me, I look at you.
They shut us.
So
for having Lagosian, Lagos, na cause trouble. Everybody na cause trouble.
So, it's just what it is. And some people have stayed in areas that made them become sick to that kind of situation because they experience it every day. I am not from Lagos. We are not from Lagos life of shouting and all of that. And I'm from Ilorin, gentle in the estate, even though we are not rich. But you have to learn it. If you don't experience it, if you don't have it, you don't have it. You just have to learn it some way. Yeah.
Well,
So
thank you very much.
How long have
we're spending close to 2 hours. We are running up now, exactly. So, very much because the time zone is very different. So,
no, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We are the same time. 10 is 14, right?
13, 13 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is. So, yes, sir. The importance of this training is that if anybody come across, they attend one live session, they should be able to be impacted and they should be able to find a compass to their life that this is the next thing I'm doing, this is where I'm going. Though they may not want to be in the same speed like our outlier, but they should be able to find a direction to themselves. So, like
Mm-hmm.
in passing, what advice can you give to every one of us here tonight? That, oh, I think this is the next thing I want to do. I want to try some illegal stuff. I'm not going that way again. I think I have more hope. I think I have more future in going this way. I think what I'm doing that I want to quit. I think I can even go harder to it. I think I shouldn't give up again. So what advice can you give to every one of us?
I think it's just about, I think for me, it's just about being true to yourself and having that strong commitment to excellence that I'm just going to keep doing it. I know I might not be the best, but I'm going to do the best of my ability, right? I'm going to do the best of my ability. I mean, if you have that open-mindedness and you keep asking questions and ask as much questions as you can, talk to people, ask questions, ask questions, learn from people experience, and I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. Yeah, I think that's the major thing that I've learned. Talk to people,
Wow,
learn from them. You do not have to make all the mistakes. You definitely have to learn from other people's mistakes. Yeah, I think that's one thing that I also find very interesting. I learn from other people's mistakes as much as I can because you do not have to make all the mistakes yourself. You do not even have the time to do so. So learn from people, speak to people, talk, and learn communication skills if you don't have it. Very, very important because that opens doors to a lot of things. I've spoken at a business school in which I was like the youngest person. I'm having CISO of first bank on the same panel as myself. This is a guy that is my big, 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 very, very biggest organ. This guy has been in the field for how long? Like maybe probably more than 20 years, right? Working IBM, working this all over Europe and North America, right? You know, and the only reason why I was there was because I learned to communicate and share my ideas, my experience, my knowledge in a way that people find very, very amazing, you know. So no matter how much you know, if you are not sharing those, so I tell people learn communication skill. You are going to be very happy you did. Join Toastmaster I've seen to be like the most effective way. More than 300 of the Fortune 500 companies today now have Toastmaster inside of their organization, including Google, Amazon, Oracle, and all of these big, big companies. FBI has a Toastmaster. Pentagon has a Toastmaster inside of their.
like that's a private club. Private club.
Yeah, private club. Even I'm in Bournemouth today. There's a club for JP Morgan here. I tried to join the other time. They didn't allow me to join. It's just for their staff alone, for JP Morgan staff alone. Yeah, JP Morgan. And I was thinking that they will allow me to join because I've been a president of the club. They say, unfortunately, that it's just for their staff, blah, 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 internally. Because what they do is that, their executive use it as a training platform to learn to speak and, do some training. Some of the presentation they want to do for companies, they do it within the Toastmasters course and they get evaluated and all of that. So learn to communicate better. Probably join Toastmaster. If you cannot join Toastmaster, read books. I think doing it yourself seems to be like the most effective way. And I've seen someone that has been chairman of United Nations Pension Fund. This guy has been speaking at United Nations in New York for so long. He was chairman of Pension Fund in United Nations. He retired and came back. He retired after working in UN for 20 years and was in Abuja. And he joined Toastmaster. And in one of his speeches, he eventually said that he has been speaking for the past 20 years as the development consultant in UN, that he was surprised that he could still learn new tricks and new ways of speaking after all of this time. He was so surprised, so it doesn't matter where you are or where you're coming from. You might have been doing it. You can still do better, particularly for those that are not doing well. If you're doing well and you think it's giving you your results, you might not need to, because right now I'm not pushed to join any Toastmasters club in UK again because I think I have what I need now. I will join soon if I put some things in place, but after that, yeah.
Wow. I'm so my mind is so blown away. So I've learned so many. In fact, by the grace of God, I'm gonna join Toastmaster. I've been procrastinating on it. I think you told me a while ago to join. But once somebody enter Lagos like the only thing on your mind is making money. I still come to this world to come and make money. So by the grace of God, I'll put that on my
Money
bucket.
is important too. Money is important.
It's important. It's important. So like
Yeah.
business I require so much communication. So and I think I need to improve on that too. So
Yes,
thank you
you need
very
to.
much for
Yeah.
okay. Thank you very much for coming here tonight. It's a great privilege for you to share your time with us, to share your knowledge with us. I won't take it for granted. So to from every members of the Outlier series, and from every members of the audience that came here tonight, and those that also be watching it in some times to come. So we greatly appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much for coming here tonight. May Almighty God be with you, be with your family. May Almighty God make everything you put your hand upon to become prosperous. So thank you
Mm-hmm.
very much, sir. And have a nice moment, sir.
Yeah, you're highly welcome. Thanks a lot. Happy to be here, and hope to get to see you in person again someday soon.
By
And
the grace of
yeah, my regards. Yeah, take care. Thanks a lot, man. Cheers.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So thanks to everyone who made it here tonight. So thank to every one of you. So the replay will be dropped on my handle and probably be uploaded on my YouTube channel too. So you can still watch it and watch it over and over again. So you can connect with our guest. You can connect with him on his social media handle and you can chat him up. Should in case you are interested in his line of business or you want to become a cybersecurity like him. So thank you very very much. So till next month, August, we'll be having another Outlier series. So see you guys. Thank you.